Now at 6, crews bring down a 100-year-old water tower in Neosho, Missouri. Plus, kids in southeast Kansas taking a trip to the museum for some old school lessons. And the Joplin Police Department hosts some middle schoolers for a police camp.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A structure that stood in Neosho, Missouri for nearly a century is now in pieces. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The city today demolished the water tower at Dewey and Finney Avenue. It was built back in 1926, decommissioned in 1984. The city had added another larger 400,000-gallon tank next to it way back in 1956.
It's just it's about 110 years old, and it's just a concern for as a danger structure for the area.
Because I wanted to come see the water tower be taken down. I've never seen this happen.
That current remaining water tower built in 1956, it has a 400,000-gallon tank. A 5-year-old boy is dead following an accident involving a semi-tractor unit today in a small Jasper County, Missouri community. Police say the truck was parked in a private driveway in the village of Reeds, and the driver was standing on the driver's side steps with the engine running. Authorities say the truck was put into gear and jolted forward, striking that 5-year-old boy from Lockwood, Missouri. The child died at the scene. At last report, authorities had not yet released the name of that boy. Authorities in Neosho County, Kansas are investigating a fatal crash involving a bicycle last night. Troopers say a bicyclist on Santa Fe Avenue collided with the side and rear of a vehicle making a right turn. That bicyclist, 67-year-old Harvey Morris Love of Chanute, died at the scene. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for our first look at the weather.
Temperatures out there looking pretty good. We're in the mid-80s, a couple of clouds, but overall it's a very sunny day, good visibility, light breeze out of the south. Across the region, 87 in Stockton, 86 in Welch, 89 in Veneta, 88 in Nowata. So pretty warm out there, mid to upper 80s, and that's just going to continue to increase as we do continue on a warming trend throughout the rest of the week. We also have a heat advisory for Lynn, Anderson, and Coffee County, so just outside of our area, but I wanted to mention it because the heat index for those counties specifically and out in Wichita as well are up in the triple digits, and we're getting warmer, we're getting up there. Temperatures are in the mid-90s this weekend, but with humidity values, it could feel a lot warmer, so just stay hydrated out there, and I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
See you soon. As the Southeast Kansas Nature Center celebrates 20 years, the folks at Shimmerhorn Park there are pointing out some natural wonders, like the fact that a cave in the park is home to lots of really interesting critters, including 2 species of salamanders. The cave long-tailed and grotto salamanders are lungless and are unique to the Ozark area.
What they need to do is, number one, do not handle it. Anything that they might have on their hands, that animal can absorb and it could make them sick. So if they see something like that and they want to get a quick picture, otherwise they need to give it space.
Since the salamanders are endangered in Kansas, they have special protections and people should not disturb their habitat. The park is open every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The cave is limited to authorized personnel. The Crawford County Historical Museum hosted another round of Wacky Wednesday today. For the month of June, the museum is inviting kiddos out for some fun and educational demonstrations. Today's event, called Little Museum on the Prairie, taught the kids how to make hand-dipped candles and apple juice. Also taught them things about butter churning and corn swelling and clothes washing, just like the pioneers.
We take what has really worked well in the past and that the parents have requested, oh, are you going to do Little Museum on the Prairie again this year? Or are you going to make homemade ice cream? So we try to build on what we've done in the past and make it a little bit better, a little bit bigger.
The museum has 2 more Wacky Wednesdays left this month, including Life on the Trail on the 19th and baby goats and farmhouse ice cream on the 26th. Maybe the best part of Wacky Wednesdays, they're free. And yeah, that's kind of wacky, I know. Joplin Police Department is holding its first ever Kids Academy this week at South Middle School. KOAM's Anthony Saviello was there.
I enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun being able to work with the kids and show them some of our equipment and stuff that we have.
The SWAT division of the Joplin Police Department made a stop at South Middle School. The goal, to educate students about SWAT's role in law enforcement.
We're able to interact with kids where it's as a controlled environment and everything. It's not a bad situation that our SWAT team is potentially dealing with or anything.
But these kids still get a better understanding of the situations law enforcement finds themselves in and the people they deal with.
That they're not always bad, they can do good things, but most of the time they don't mean bad, just sometimes the people that they're trying to get, they just don't cooperate.
It's hands-on learning, with students being able to interact with the department's tools and equipment.
Between K-9 Division, Traffic Enforcement, our SWAT team, Investigations Division, so it's just nice for them to be able to see all the different things that the Joplin Police Department has to offer.
This interaction may even be the boost that creates future law enforcement officers.
Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be one.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The Police Academy continues through the end of the week. Kids are going to get lessons from different divisions within the department. A Joplin soup kitchen struggles for ways to feed its clients. That story is coming up. And first, Commerce Days kicks off in Oklahoma today. We're going to take you there for a live look. That's straight ahead. Take a look at this. It's a live look from this year's Commerce Days event in Oklahoma. Folks can head out to the Commerce High School to enjoy food, arts and crafts vendors, and games. You see some rides in motion there. Well, that's because the carnival kicked off just a few minutes ago, and at 7, the Full Throttle Band turns it up on stage, and that's just today's agenda. The festival continues through Saturday. Might want to take the family. Joplin Soup Kitchen is seeking donations to feed its growing number of clients. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The Soup Kitchen volunteers at St. Peter's Outreach House start prepping meals at 8 a.m. to pass out hundreds of to-go meals by 11 a.m. However, as the demand grows, it's harder to keep their shelves stocked.
We are in desperate need of canned goods. We go through approximately 15 gallons of canned goods a day. So if there's anyone in the community or anybody wants to make a donation of canned goods to us, we'll take anything. Canned vegetables, canned fruit, canned beans.
The most demanding season for the kitchen is summertime.
We're averaging now a minimum of 400 a day. Today we're anticipating it could be as many as 500. And we're seeing, since the children are out of school, we're seeing a lot of children coming too. It'll go back down, we anticipate, in the fall. Maybe a third will go down, when people get back to, the kids go back to school, and a lot of our homeless population that are transient move on, because a lot of times they're filtering in here from somewhere else.
The kitchen does not have any requirements for those needing a meal.
But we'll feed anybody. There's no requirement. Anybody's welcome at our door. All we require is we have to keep track of numbers, and we take a name. That's it.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
St. Peter's Outreach House is open Monday through Wednesday and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And here's how you can help. KOAM and Fox 14 are starting a summer food drive as part of our Feed the Four States campaign. Local food pantries have struggled since COVID, so any size donation really does make a difference. Now, as part of our summer food drive, we ask that you bring donations to your local food pantry, either in the form of cash or non-perishable food items, like, say, canned goods. You can find a list of food pantries in the area on our website, koamnewsnow.com/feed. Oklahoma's top court has spoken on reparations for survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, and the answer is no. 3 survivors filed that lawsuit back in 2020. It sought compensation for the racially motivated destruction of Tulsa's Greenwood neighborhood, which at the time was known as Black Wall Street. The plaintiffs argued that law provides a right to reparations. Oklahoma's Supreme Court agreed with the district court's decision, but went on to say even though the plaintiffs' grievances are legitimate, they do not fall within the scope of the state's public nuisance statute. A little later, a Parsons standout fights the odds to take his gridiron game to the next level. John Dales is going to have his story coming up in sports.
And temperatures are warming up. We've also got a few thunderstorm chances in the forecast. We'll talk about that right after the break. It's getting pretty warm out there, but it is looking pretty good. Let's take a look outside at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Few tiny little clouds out there, but overall it was a really sunny day. We got up to the mid to upper 80s for our high today, and that's going to continue to warm up as we see temperatures in the mid to lower 90s by the weekend. Not to mention we also have a heat advisory in effect until tomorrow 8 p.m. mostly outside of our area, but just still, in case anyone is living in any of these counties, Lynn, Anderson, and Coffee County, heat advisory. That's due to the heat index being in the low triple digits. So it's going to get pretty hot this weekend. And just in case nobody knew, heat is one of the silent killers, one of the most deadly weather-related issues for the U.S., actually, one of the top killers in the U.S. Stay hydrated out there. Try not to spend too long outdoors in one period of time. We are only in the mid to lower 90s right now, forecasted for it. So not as bad as what we're going to see in the next couple months, but doesn't hurt to take care of yourself. Stay hydrated out there. It's always good to stay hydrated. Temperatures tomorrow getting up to about 90, 91, and it's going to be sunny, hot. We do also have a chance for an isolated storm possible in the afternoon because we do see a slight trough just north of us bringing us a few showers, thunderstorms possibly in our area, but the likelihood that we really see widespread showers, not likely at all. So we'll go ahead and take a closer look at that. We've got just one singular isolated storm forecasted for tomorrow. See it kind of widespread before it moves into our area, and then Yates Center, Parsons, by the time it hits the Joplin Metro, really just dissipates, and then we're clear. And so it's only about 2 hours long Thursday night, not severe either. Another chance early Saturday morning or late Friday night, depending on how fast this moves in, because it is forecasted to be main threat winds. So it could be moving in pretty fast, and then that also moves in, same track, Yates Center, Parsons, Joplin, and then out to the east. Outside of that, we've got another chance of storms possible or an isolated evening thunderstorm popping up Sunday and again Wednesday. So we've got these chances, but not severe. We're not looking at that severe threat anymore, but those evening summertime thunderstorms is what we're really starting to see from here on out. Not long-lived and not severe at all, but we've got that chance Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and then Wednesday. Temperatures also getting up to the mid-90s, 94 forecasted on Saturday. Lows are going to stay pretty consistent in the low 70s, so we're not cooling off too much either in the evening time. After a few of those storms pass by, we're dropping down to the low 90s, 92 Monday and Tuesday, 91 Wednesday, 90 Thursday. But then by next weekend, we warm back up to the mid to lower 90s, 94 by next Saturday as well. So we're getting up there. We're going to continue to warm up as we move into the summer season.
Because of course we will.
You know, if it's not dangerous, damaging storms, it's heat waves. That's what the weather does to you.
Yeah, we complain a lot about the weather, don't we?
Yeah.
It's what we do here in the Midwest.
It's what everyone does, I think.
Thanks, Lindsay. Hey, don't forget, you can be the first to know about today's weather with KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. Doesn't cost a thing. You'll find it wherever you get your apps. You see the QR code. It's the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Does your dog get the zoomies? Well, there might be a reason, and there's a medical term for it. Dr. Elsa Stewart at Missouri's Mills Animal Hospital says the behavior is known as frenetic random activity period, or FRAP for short. While FRAP is typically a dog thing, cats, horses, donkeys, and cows, many other species are known to do similar activities. I know some of you will say kids, maybe also as well. A trainer for the Zoom Room Dog Training Center in Crestwood, Missouri says the zoomies are normal.
There are three things that I always say that it takes for a dog to live a successful life, which is clear boundaries, mental stimulation, and physical exercise.
Dr. Stewart says if your dog is loose and wiggly and carefree, that is a sign of happy zoomie. They don't typically stand still like that. The story of a local football player overcoming some long odds coming up next. An incoming college freshman from Parsons has overcome long odds to continue his football career. KOIM Sports Director John Dales has this story on the former Viking preparing to play at the next level.
Jace Queering is going to be signing to play football at the University of Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas football signee and Parsons graduate Jace Queering has been playing the sport for a long time.
I started playing football in 3rd grade. Back then I played a little bit of linebacker, a lot of defense, and I wasn't very good at it.
Quickly though, Queering found the position for him. Kicker.
I started doing it like at that 3rd grade, 4th grade year when they just said, hey, we need somebody to do it, and I wasn't very good, so I wasn't getting a lot of playing time. So I was like, a way to see the field, cool. But then about my 7th grade year, 8th grade year, I kind of embraced it as like the thing that I might be good at if I worked hard at it.
Hard work is an understatement.
That entailed kicking a lot. You're not supposed to kick as much as I did, but I'd just be out there on the field all day, every day kicking. We built a goalpost in our yard, actually.
You heard that right. A full-length goalpost in the Queering family's yard.
It started kicking over the basketball goal in the front yard because it's the same height as the crossbar. But then we turned into me and my grandpa building a goalpost out in the side of our yard.
But early in his high school career, a life-changing event kept Queering off the field.
We had a side-by-side rollover my freshman year right when I qualified for state golf. So ended up having 23 broken bones, 2 torn ligaments in my foot. And the doctors were worried about me walking. That's what my mom was really worried about.
Which led to a long recovery process.
So it ended up being three surgeries that we had to go through, 1 in June, 1 in July, 1 in the beginning of August. So I got to school. I was able to use crutches at school that year.
After missing his entire sophomore year, Queering returned to the field and was successful enough to get a D1 offer from Central Arkansas, all of which he says wouldn't be possible without the support from those around him.
This town is filled with great people, and it's a really special place, and you just don't experience that if you haven't gone through something like I have. You know, if you haven't had that community rally behind you, you probably don't think that this is the best place in the world. But once you've experienced what I've experienced from this town, you see that you're really grateful to be here.
With the Parsons community behind him, Queering begins his college football career at Central Arkansas this fall. John Dales, KOIM Sports.
Wow, Queering's freshman season at Central Arkansas begins on August 31st against Arkansas State. For more details on that story, head to the sports page on our website, koimnewsnow.com/sports. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOIM News at 9 on Fox 14. More on that Oklahoma Supreme Court ruling on the reparations case for survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre. Plus, the battle over IVF access heats up once again in Congress, and the Federal Reserve announces its plans for interest rates as a new inflation report is released. Those stories, a lot more, is coming up tonight. KOIM News at 9 on Fox 14. Weather, it's warm out there, but overall pleasant.
Yeah, not too bad. Today was a good day, but we do start to really warm up by the weekend. And it's summertime, so we've got a couple chances of those evening summer storms Thursday and Friday.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.